Welcome to the Thunderdome, the Fuck Cage, the Holodeck, the Flight Sim. This is Super Melee. We have many to get through. So let's start with the Chimur Avatar. Very powerful laser, Zapsats, Tractor Beam. Chimur Avatar. Yep, seen there the Zapsats? Terawatt laser. A tractor beam generator. I've shown off the power of this sucker in some combat situations. Does pretty damn alright. You gotta jump through a few hoops to get it, of course. But, mandatory. As in, you will have access to this before winning the game. Next up, we have the Druge Mauler. Sluggish, heavy momentum weapon, combustible crew. I showed off this a little bit as an asset of mine and in opposition to me. The Druge Mauler. Matter to energy conversion furnace. Dense heavy projectile. Combat battery, high recoil cannon. Call this a sniper rifle, you know, you call it a number of other things. It is an impractical weapon, but it lays down some real damage. The whole needing to burn your hit points for energy, unfortunate. There are many small ships in this game, and you're going to have some trouble landing those shots. We'll follow it up with the Illwrath Avenger, large devastating flame blast, cloaking device. This playthrough only got into combat with this once. And his cloaking device had malfunctioned. Uncloaking to attack, yes. It must uncloak in order to attack. Important element. It can be hit while it's not cloaked. The Hellfire Spout can protect it, act as a shield, but the Illwrath Avenger does need to fire it, thus uncloaking. The Korra Marauder, massive, long-range spinning blades, ring of fiery death. Very few interactions with the Korra Marauders in this revisit. Their ships are kind of big fucking deals. The fried emitters. And the spinning blades with their homing capabilities. The Melnorme Trader, which we lost the ability to fight when our first interaction with the Melnorme did not involve hostilities. Tubby chargeable weapon can disrupt enemy controls. I cannot remember the last time I ever fought one of these. It absolutely would have been in Super Melee, though. Druge Mauler off there in the distance. Variable power blaster charger. Bridge color control. Confusion ray capacitor. I couldn't say to how well this this vessel performs. I don't have much experience using it or facing it. From there, let's come on over to the Mycon pod ship. Very slow, homing plasma torpedo, grows new crew. We saw a number of combats against this during the revisit. Those blasts can be devastating. The ship certainly has maneuverability issues, I would say. But the homing plasmoids, those are pretty yummy. We'll follow that with the Ors Nemesis. Quick rotating turret, Space Marines board enemy ship. Ended up not seeing this over the course of the revisit. We had ample opportunities to do so. I like the vessel. The turret takes some time to get used to. Those Space Marines have the go-go, the rotating howitzer, marine portholes, The Space Marines board vessels and begin fighting with the crew aboard those vessels, assuming they don't get shot down in space. So, how useful they end up being depends on the opponent you're facing. And when your foe is the Ur's nemesis, they won't launch Space Marines if you have point defense. We'll go now to the Shofixty Scout. Tiny, fast, and can self-destruct. A little bit of pew-pew here. And of course, a glory device. Shofixty Scout. Oh, the kill pause. Yes, that's very important. Good. And our divine win. Delightful. The Slylandro Probe. We had very little combat with these. I shut them down quick in this playthrough. Constant motion, instant reverse, absorbs asteroids. For any novice or even moderate player of this video game, these probes can hound you. You'd be like, no, not again! Particularly if you let them fester. More and more encounters over the course of the playthrough will be Slylandro probes. You will enter a system and oops, Slylandro probes. Yeah. Great times. Wonderful fun. They're full of loads of resource units if you need those. Clearly, I did not. The Supok's Blade is next. Light rapid-fire globs, slides in any directions. I got a little bit of combat in this end against the God drone. Against two, the second one blowing it up. I think the vessel is fun. Sundome. Photosynthesis, of course. Yeah, a fun vessel. The Cyrene Penetrator, lithe space vixens who steal enemies' crew. Do not start with a full crew complement. That way you can have space to absorb enemy crew, instead of just spacing them. I also find this ship fun. You got maneuverability with this. The primary fire has some nice speed and range to it. The secondary fire, can pull that crew right out. The weapon damage isn't too high, but the dream is that you're close enough that your secondary fire connects, so you drag all of the enemy crew out until they're down to one, and then all you gotta do is land one shot. The Thradash Torch, which we saw plenty of in combat. Nimble, afterburner, accelerates ship, burns enemy. Afterburner's nice damage fields help to protect it. Frontal Mach 6 Blaster. Plasma Afterburner Reunk Model. Turn signals. Now this thing can go damn fast. It's pretty difficult for me to handle. All these super fast ships, I'd have to put in the time to learn. The God drone, speaking of super fast ships when it's going. Saw these at the end of the revisit. Well, before the actual end game. When the ship's not using its secondary fire, it doesn't do great. It's slow, and it doesn't turn that well. But when it is using that secondary fire, I talked about its weird battery regeneration and its primary weapon, that antimatter cone, that can give vessels some real damn trouble. You're not patient or you're not skilled enough. Or unlucky. Planets come out of nowhere at any time. The final vessel for this brawl is the Utwig Jugger. Can't fit in everything. I wanted to have a mirror match here to give each one of these vessels 2 opportunities. But don't worry, we'll see these three, and perhaps the others that aren't even in this video game. The Outwig Jugger. Weapons consume no energy, absorbent shields. Indeed. They present a real problem for a Hellbore cannon flagship. Viewers have remarked on the devastating power of the Outwig Jugger, and the juxtaposition with how powerful it is and how the Outwig are. Battery-independent cannons. I mean, it is a pretty swell feature to have a ship that is entirely ammunition-dependent and doesn't require any energy at all. Except when you're using the secondary fire, you can just fire endlessly, limitlessly. Okay, let's watch this in action. The Melnorme is up first against the Mycon. Ooh. Okay, the Mycon pod ship has escaped. Beige versus Plork. Mycon regenerated some hit points, but, you know, those ended up being just what was required to live. Now the Korra Marauder, Death 43, is here to destroy. This pod ship is in for an adventure. And adventure it did. It scratched the Marauder. I would call that more than a scratch. That's a solid dent. Next up, the Shofixty Scout Bonsai. Alright! Alright! I'll be damned! Moving on to Thirdash Torch, it's Drolg. Ooh. Get him, Drolg! Yeah! The Elrath Avenger is up. Taragon. And Drolg slightly, ever so slightly, nuzzles the paintwork. Yeah, that wasn't going anywhere for that Avenger. Chijubby and the Outwig Jugger just absorbed it all and crushed. Frumple and the Or's Nemesis. What will the Howitzer manage to accomplish? Nice shooting, Frumple. Let's go. Gotta aim that sucker. It can be challenging. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Frumple got caught. Got a little too close to the Jugger. The Slightlandro Probe! Oh no, Outwig. This is not your fight.
Energize.
This is definitely not your fight. Double knockout! The Trimmer Avatar versus the Or's Nemesis. Frumple returned. And, it's just made some bad decisions. Mirror match. Prunts versus Prumps. Oh! Prumps takes it home. We move on now to the Druge Mauler. Lands a... all we needed to do was land one shot in the Avatar's condition. Fizo. Another mirror match! Given the slim profiles of the Maulers. Fizo and Tuga. One more shot required on Tuga. It's not like it really has the crew to run the furnace. Damn. Fizo not even scratched. Siren Penetrator. What are you doing, Penetrator? You gotta get close! What are you doing, Penetrator? Get close! Don't fight the sniper rifle at range! Your weapons don't even do range! Neither does your siren call! Root, the Supok's blade. What are you... Why do you all keep moving away and turning your backs to the baller? That's not even where the Druge was? Incredible. I'm astounded. Fizo's lost more crew to the furnace. All right, another Korra Marauder. Will Fizo defeat Death 83? Not impossible. But Fizo can't run the furnace any longer. And the Mauler has a slow battery regeneration. However, is outpacing those homing blades. Ah, what a run, Fizo. Incredible. Another Shofixty Scout Korra Marauder badge. Will Daikon manage to get the glory device off? Yeah. All right. Flues! The Mycon pod ship returns. That's not great positioning for you, Mycon. There you go. It helps when you shoot instead of burning all of your energy on regenerating crew. Death 83 nearly out. Another Utwig Jugger. Oh dear, Korra Marauder. Lands some damage. Yeah, that's notable. The Melnorme Trader returns. Crimson. And the Jugger is sent into Confusion Hell. Okay. Snoon out of here. Another Thradash Torch. Saw these do great work earlier. But, it got these hands. Alright, Supok's Blade. Will you have a better showing? Yes, you already are having a better showing. Root. Let the viewers hear your victory music. You're handling the Melnorme confusion better than a Druge Mauler. No! Yeah! The Slylandro probe. Uh-oh, Supok's Blade. Yeah. Uprooted. Maya. Will this penetrator fare better? The Slilandro probe doesn't have crew to pull out of it, so that's an unfortunate matchup for the penetrator. And EIEIO. This is the last ship of the top team.
Energize.
You can see the drone's real turning problems here. All right. Bottom team wins with the drone and Avenger to spare, and the probe barely clinging on. Well, that was fun. Yeah, that was enjoyable. We got a few more ships to show off, so give me a moment and I'll pull them up. Our second Super Melee match is half the size, and hopefully not half the fun. The Vux Intruder, clumsy, powerful laser, spawns limpet parasites. Bunch of cut footage of me fighting these things. A primary fire can eviscerate. That secondary fire can put you in a position to be eviscerated. And Super Melee does give Vux Intruders an advantage in how they spawn. Just 1v1 a Vux Intruder with Benny ship. See the spawning positions. We have the Yehat Terminator next. Agile, rapid-fire, twin missiles, and shield. Yes, this is another vessel to have shielding capabilities. Can put in great work. I only fled from these during the revisit. No fighting against them. We'll see how they perform in the 7v7. Now we have vessels of 3 races, which don't really appear in Star Control 2, but are present in Star Control 1. We have the Androsynth Guardian. Pokey blows mean bubbles, changes to flaming comet. The Androsynth, of course, never had a chance to use their Guardians against the Or's Nemesis. Molecular acid sphere launcher spheres employ chaos tracking, high-speed destructive blazer form. Look forward to that. And you have the Chinjesu Broodhome, big crystal fragment weapon, breeds pesky doggies. Photon crystal shard, high-frequency resonators for dog control. Energy absorption crystals. We'll see how well this Broodhome performs. And then finally, the X form. Transforms from a slow, heavy to a light, quick ship. The Transformer. Transformation linkages, laser cannon, and missile launcher. Afterburner. There you go on that. I don't have a whole lot to say about how the Guardian, Broodhome, and Transformer perform, as I don't have experience fighting them in Star Control 2, and my Star Control 1 memories are memories. And for the remaining 2 ships, I've decided to give the Zokfot Pick, Stinger, and Aralu Skiff another opportunity. Get out there, kids. Have some fun. Stinger versus Transformer. Okay. Fitpat versus... Fitpat crosses in front of the Transformer's fire. The Intruder is not in a great position there. Zit could get popped. That Transformer moves way too damn fast in this form. And really outranges the Intruder. Oh? Nah. I was like, a gravity whip could do it. This is just bullying here. Though it seems like we're gonna be here for a little bit. Don't make me regret putting you in this lineup, Transformer. Look at me, look at me shift. Now I can shift again. Now I can shift again. Ooh, got limpited. And got tagged by the laser. Well, that happened. Moving on. Ors! Ors wins, but it's heavily loaded with limpets. Oh god, this matchup again. You gotta be kidding me. See, the Vux Intruder is already painfully slow. It has been limpited up to be even slower. And you still get wrecked like that. Come on, man. Help. That sound, by the way, not an enjoyable sound. The shift, the transformation. Okay. Well, we'll never see that matchup again. Comes a Brute home. Looked like it just ran through the Transformer. Arlu Skiff. Look at it put in some real work. Piney whiny. Did a great job. Mirror match. You know, the Chinjesu sound effects for their, like, stuff also suck, I gotta say. As in, a little painful to keep listening to. Zzz, takes it over Zax. Alright, Arlu Skiff returns to fight the Brute home. Will manage to prevail. Both Androsynth Guardians still hiding themselves. Would have liked to see one against a larger vessel. Tenkafo bullying the less agile craft. But there's still more work to be done. The Brute home still has one more crew. Not anymore. That's gonna do it. Great job, Arlu Lalale. Yay hot Terminator. Shielded twin cannons of doom. The Zokvot pick, the Androsynth Guardians still refusing to show. Alright, Zokvot pick Stinger. There we go. That Blazer form can end up wedging itself in a glorious location and just wreck versus 976 kill. We had a lot of mirrors in today's showing. All right. Each team down to 1 ship remaining. Guardian versus Terminator. Guardian ran out of energy, was just pirouetting around the Terminator. Bottom team wins. And with that, our little intermission prelude to the end game reaches an end. See you all next time. Perhaps for the conclusion of this revisit, but maybe not. We'll see.